Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another StarCraft 2 game with MacGuffin. And it looks like we're going to be having a Protoss versus Terran on Xel'Naga Caverns between MarineKing Prime and Evil Geniuses Huk. Now this is actually something you're not going to be seeing for a while shortly, because not Protoss versus Terran, you're going to be seeing that for a lot of the game. And in the future, of course. What I mean is you're probably not going to be seeing this map, Xel'Naga Caverns. It's been a map for a very long time, and it is being removed from the map pool from the latest patch notes. Might see it come back, did happen with Metalopolis, but it's going to be sad to see it go. So a bit unfortunate for the map. We've got some new maps coming in which might make things a bit more interesting. Of course, at the moment we do see MarineKing starting his wall off, and Huk is getting for the M-base pylon. Of course, not a lot of reason to wall in versus Terran. They'll just shoot at your ramp and take out your buildings, and you'll feel like an idiot. And yeah, so what are we going to see in these positions? Of course, Huk usually goes for those sort of aggressive plays. MarineKing also is a very aggressive style, so it should be interesting to see who goes for what. Huk's now sending out his probe just after his second pylon. MarineKing hasn't scouted yet. Looks like he's going to scout later, maybe after his barracks. Now, a bit of a question for you guys. I'm curious to what style you prefer. Do you prefer with all the unit bars selected, or not selected, just like this, or just whenever I highlight them they become selected? I prefer to see the HP bars. Of course, some people don't like that. You do get to see more info with this HP bars. You can see what's damaged, what's going to happen, but some people don't like it. And yeah, so I'm curious. Just let me know and see what we can do. Now, Huk is being annoying with his probe. Of course, he's very well known for that. And MarineKing throwing out the no, and Huk getting the TT out. Looks like that SCV is going to reduce the shield damage, and that means that Huk's probe is going to have to run away. It looks like his shields are already generating, so of course you couldn't go in for another round of harassment, although the SCV is leaving the base, the weakened one. So he's going to go in and one shot off on the mineral patch worker, and looks like MarineKing wards it away with another unit. And ooh, bit of an interesting move here by Huk. He is throwing down a pylon next to the reactor spot, or the tech lab, so he's either going to have to lift up this barracks, wait till this is cancelled. Of course he will cancel it, otherwise he'll be losing 100 minerals compared to the 25 he's going to lose for just cancelling at the last moment. It's still really annoying. Of course, if MarineKing wanted to get that early tech lab, then he would have had to lift up or just wait till it's dead, and then it just sets him back those little differences that can kind of screw up someone's game plan or their build order. Of course, Huk almost killing that one SCV. Does get out with 1 HP left, well, 1 comparative HP, because it takes 1 hit from a SCV or probe to kill, since they do 5 damage. He is taking back, and Huk is coming to intercept with the probe, because he's going to get, and nice move by Huk. He does take out that SCV, and that is so annoying. Of course, it makes you feel really bad. It makes you feel like you've got a really big advantage in the beginning of the game. Of course, it doesn't make that much difference. It's just 1 SCV, but it's a bit of a moral victory, and just so annoying. So we do have the first Stalker walking down to the Xel'Naga watchtower, it looks like, and it looks like Huk is going to go back in with his probe. The rally point is sitting at halfway up the ramp, so MarineKing does have those 2 marines here, so if Huk's not careful he could lose this probe, and gets it out with about half HP. Shields are completely down, and marines are going to not kill it actually, so this probe is pretty good control by Huk. Looks like Huk is continuing to keep his probe near the ramp, which is really annoying for MarineKing. And he has up to go for the 1 gateway robo play, and he hasn't been using his chrono burst. He's up to 100 energy just now. He hasn't been using it on warp gates. He did chrono boost out that stalker, I believe. Looks like he's saving all his chrono boost for the robo bay, so he is getting out that first observer. MarineKing is getting out combat shields and marauders, so that's just to keep him safe from any 1 base Protoss attacks. Of course, the stimulants have more potential, but the combat shields make it so you can last longer in battle, and before medevacs that's really helpful. Of course, when the medevacs are out you can stim happy, and looks like he almost caught that probe unawares, but Huk really got that out quickly, so again good control by Huk, and it looks like MarineKing is going to be aggressive. He does have SCV in the mix, so he's not just going to go clear the watchtowers, and Huk has expanded. This is fairly brave, and he cancels that expansion, so he loses about 100 minerals on that. But it's going to be better than losing the Nexus, because honestly I think Huk's in trouble here. This is quite a large ball of units for the early game. He only has 1 Stalker, 2 sentries, he's warped in 2 more Stalkers now that his warp gate research is complete, and the first Immortal is just about finished. So he's going to have to force field off and wait for reinforcements, and this is a bit of a tricky situation for Huk. He does get that force field off, keeps him out, so that's going to be good, and he's going to go for that. Oh, and nice force field by Huk. It's trapped in all but one of the units, and it looks like they're all going to die. There's nothing to stop the high ground. They cannot move, they cannot shoot, and they are just going to be killed instantly. Ooh, that Marauder does try and come up and save them, but all those units get lost. And in the meantime, Huk has loaned down a proxy pylon and is beginning to warp in a Stalker. Of course, most of MarineKing's army is on the map and is now walking home. The OBS is following his army. So looks like he's going to intercept. Oh, nice. That's a really good strategic move by Huk. But he does pull back. He doesn't want to lose these Stalkers. Of course, 2 Stalkers in the early game can make a really big lead with just the small amount of units. The supplies are relatively even still. Huk throwing down 2 more gateways. And is he going to expand again? Looks like he wanted to expand, but then he wasn't able to because of that attack. Looks like a few of MarineKing's units are trapped out here. He wants to be careful not to get force field on the ramp. And he does force field, but only 2 Marines get trapped outside, except for there's other units that were just the laggers from the beginning. The Immortal is going to take out those Marauders so quickly, and he is taking out supply depots. That's so annoying. He does have that Observer hiding the high ground for him. And of course the Stalker range is a bit larger than the Marines. And he just used the Mule, so he can't scan and get rid of that OBS. So a bit unfortunate for MarineKing. And it looks like he has to cancel that. And looks like Huk is going to continue to dance in and out, and he's just weakening out the army at the moment. He knows there's no medevacs yet. This is going to prevent him from being able to stem. This is going to prevent him from being able to survive large combat. Of course, if the shields keep recharging these Stalkers, he just needs to keep going in and out. You might want to move this Stalker to the back until its HP regenerates. He is keeping the Immortal back and the Sentries. Oh no, here they come in a bit. Looks like he's doing an SCV up. He might have wanted to repair that. So with this really good Stalker control, he's doing quite well, and we've got to be careful here. He not the best force fields, loses about 1 Marine. That's going to take out his Sentry's energy, so he won't be able to do any more fancy force fields should the opportunity arise. Unless he's getting out some Zealots now, so he might be wanting to become aggressive. Of course, he needs those Zealots to be the meat shields. And looks like he's just going in a bit now. And oh, careful, that's a bit of a bad move. He loses 1 Sentry. Could lose a second. He's sending the Zealots in. The Immortal is up the ramp now. Huk did expand during this. And Stim is only about 40 seconds in, so it's the entire build time is 170 seconds. That's a long time. So it looks like Huk is going to get that. Oh no, backs up a bit. He's got a second Observer here, and that's, of course, he's keeping that back because he doesn't want it to get killed. He needs that OBS in case it gets scanned. The factory is coming out now to sight for the high ground, and looks like Huk's going for it. He is going in. The Immortal is hiding under the factory, but it's taken down, and that's so much damage. Of course, it's 50 damage per shot, and these Stalkers aren't going to fare very well against this combined Marine Stalker army. Of course, Stalkers can be quite good against Marines in the early game, but not when they combine with Marauders, and of course they do have concussive shells as well. So it looks like Huk is going to be forced to leave, and he scans and gets one of the Observers. He can get the second one if he's not careful, and oh no, Huk moves it out of time. So that's a bit close. But in that engagement, Huk did take the lead. He is now about 20 supply up, and he is retreating home. And I don't think MarineKing knows about this pylon yet. So he could run out and kill it, but he doesn't know it's there. He must know there's a proxy pylon somewhere because Huk was warping in units near his base. Looks like Huk is getting out an additional Immortal to replace the one he lost. And now we do have 2 medevacs in the field, and looks like MarineKing's army has been healed up, and he is becoming aggressive now, and MarineKing is being followed by this sneaky Observer. So Huk's going to know this is coming, and he is warping in some more Zealots, and he's getting more Immortals out. So he's got 1, and he's getting a second, and his expansion is now finished, so he's going to have to defend this. He's going to have to be very careful about that. The factory is coming into sight for the high ground. If he wants to, getting a few shots off on those medevacs. You don't want that to happen, of course. He's going to need them. Huk's going to be very careful here. This Marine and Marauder army is quite small at the moment, but there is reinforcements rallying in, and that's going to continue to grow. And with the concussive shells, he has to be very careful. It does scan. It looks like Huk lost both of his Observers now, so he does not have anything sneakily hiding the units. Looks like he's going to try and take out that factory. It's going to take a lot of burn down though, and MarineKing is jumping in. Not bad force field, loses about 3 Marines in that, but those force fields will actually help the Terran army now because the Zealots cannot get through them. Looks like their factory is gone, so MarineKing will not be able to. Well, he wasn't really going to do much with that factory really. It's just to sight sort of his army. He does have the medevacs to sight the high ground. The HP of the factory really allows him to. And here he goes. He has loaded up 3 dropships. It looks like Huk has seen that, and if he gets these into the base, it's going to put Huk into a world of hurt. Huk is being very careful with his Stalkers. He's got half his army at the expansion though. All his Sentries and Immortals are all in the expansion, so if he actually gets inside the base, it's going to be able to take out probably all these Stalkers. And he won't be able to force field because they're over here, of course. And it looks like MarineKing is sort of going around. He's not really sure, but oh, we have some Zealots being warped in the low ground. and from the hidden pylon it was still there. MarineKing is microing with this one Marine, but against 2 Zealot, he's going to have to micro it completely. He won't be able to do anything with this army. Those 2 Zealots are now free in the base, and that's going to be very bad for Huk, but at the same time, MarineKing is going in. I think he's realised he does have expansion, he needs to win this army. Semi-nice force fields, he gets about 4 Marines in that. Although he does make a choke, which is going to make the Protoss units harder to engage, he needs to wait a bit for those force fields to fade, and then he can get his Immortals in and take out those Marauders. The Stalkers are really going down quickly, and Huk could maybe... it's a bit close, but when these medevacs go down, if that third medevac goes down and Huk is focus firing the medevacs, his army isn't going to be a stim for as much, and there's only 3 Marauders left, 2 Marauders left. Those Immortals do 150 damage per shot, considering they have 50 damage each. And that's the rest of MarineKing's army, and he is dancing with his medevac, and that's going to clinch the game for Huk. Of course, this Zealot was in the base, and it killed 12 SCVs. This one was just sitting here for no reason, so a bit lazy in that one. Pretty well played by both players though, and unfortunately just superior control with force fields for Huk clinched in the game. And thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.